All right, let's get right into it. We're always told that to change your life, you need to find your passion, right? Get motivated. But what if that's completely wrong? Today, we're going to break down how to build real, unshakable inner strength. And it has nothing to do with feel-good hacks. It's about something way more powerful. And that's the voice of David Goggins. If you don't know him, he's a retired Navy SEAL, an ultra-marathon runner, basically the living embodiment of discipline. And his whole story starts with this one major problem. Most of us have no clue what it actually takes to claw your way out of a deep, dark hole. So if motivation isn't the answer, what is? Well, the huge idea we're diving into is this. Real, lasting change doesn't come from finding a sudden spark of inspiration. Nope. It comes from deliberately looking for and running straight into friction. To really get this philosophy, you have to see where it was born. So let's take a look at David Goggins' starting line. And trust me, it was rock bottom. In his early 20s, this was him. 300 pounds. He was working a dead-end job that he absolutely hated, just totally lost. And you gotta understand, that number, it wasn't just about his weight. It was a symbol for his entire life. And when you look closer, man, the deck was stacked against him in every possible way. He was dealing with severe learning disabilities that made school a nightmare. He grew up in an abusive home. He was so insecure that he'd lie just to get people to like him. This is the absolute last person you would ever bet on to succeed. And don't just take my word for it. That's how he saw himself, the lowest form on earth. It's from this place, this absolute zero, that his entire mindset was forged. So the big question is, how do you get from that to the man he is today? Well, it wasn't through gentle self-talk or positive affirmations. He built this radical, completely counterintuitive philosophy based on one simple thing: friction. This slide just nails the difference, doesn't it? Our culture tells us to chase motivation, find our passion, make things easy for ourselves. Goggins says that true growth lives in the exact opposite direction. It's found in discipline when you have zero motivation. It's found in friction. It's found in what he calls the suck, that place where everything hurts and all you want to do is quit. So what was actually fueling him? You'd think it was the dream of becoming a Navy SEAL, right? The carrot? But it wasn't. It was the absolute nightmare of who he already was. He was running from that 300-pound guy in the mirror. That was the stick. For him, the pain of the past was a way more powerful engine than the promise of the future. And this is so important. That haunting, as he calls it, wasn't just a one-time thing that got him started. It's a fire he has to stoke every single day. He truly believes that the second he gets comfortable, the second he lets his foot off the gas, he'll slide right back into being the person he fought so hard to escape. So really, it all boils down to this one simple, brutal rule. The path to becoming stronger isn't some complex formula. It's just, if it sucks, you do it. Period. Every single day. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, this guy's a total machine, but that's just him. It sounds like a mindset for a rare individual. But here's where it gets wild. Modern neuroscience is actually starting to prove him right. There's a real biological reason his strategy works. And that really is the key question, isn't it? Is Goggins just a genetic freak of nature who can handle insane amounts of pain? Or did he accidentally discover a fundamental way to build willpower that exists inside every single one of us? Well, the science is pointing to the latter. So, neurobiologist Andrew Huberman talks about this specific part of the brain, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex. Let's just call it the AMC. You can literally think of this thing as your brain's willpower muscle. And the most incredible part, it can actually grow. So how do you make it grow? This is the amazing part. Studies show that this part of your brain gets physically larger when you do things you explicitly do not want to do. It's not just about doing hard things. It's about doing the hard things you're actively trying to avoid. That internal battle, that resistance, that's what triggers the growth. So think about it. Every time you choose to get out of bed when the alarm goes off, every time you push through that last set at the gym, every time you force yourself to do the work you've been putting off, you are literally doing a bicep curl for your brain's willpower muscle. You're making it stronger. But, and this is a big but, it's not permanent. It's a use it or lose it situation. Just like any other muscle, if you stop working it, it gets weaker. If you always choose the easy, comfortable path, this crucial part of your brain can actually shrink. You've got to keep showing up. Okay, so let's bring it all home. We've got Goggins' philosophy of embracing the suck, and we've got the neuroscience that shows us exactly why that works on a biological level. So, what's the big takeaway for us?
I mean, Goggins just says it perfectly himself. We live in this world that's obsessed with shortcuts and life hacks. But the real hack for building willpower is that, well, there is no hack. The only way to grow that muscle in your brain is through relentless, consistent, difficult work.
So, how can you actually start doing this? It's really a simple three-step process. First, find some productive friction. Pick one thing you know you should be doing, but you always avoid. Second, intentionally do it. Force yourself. Feel that resistance and just push through it. And third, repeat it every day. Because growth only, and I mean only, comes from that consistent effort. That's how you build real strength. In the end, it all just comes down to a choice you make. Look, this isn't about becoming David Goggins. It's about taking the principle and applying it to your own life. So I'll just leave you with this one question. What hard thing are you choosing to do today?